Right, so, very annoying, but it didn't pick up any of the sound from me in that one, and I don't know how to recover that sound or make that come back. So, because it wasn't connected to the microphone, even though when I checked it last time, it was working, but fuck it. So, it's kind of cheating because we've already been through it once. But those of you that don't know, what I was saying at the start of that last one was I've been doing a couple of these now on Patreon, which I feel like I really should go back and check to see if my microphone was working for them as well, because I thought it was, but maybe it wasn't. But maybe that adds to the funniness of it. What I do is I look for hidden messages in song videos in it. So there's I do films as well for the podcast, but I thought I'd start doing music videos as a little bit of something extra for Patreon. This being the third one, I thought maybe that's a good one to put out publicly. Plus, this one was suggested by Aidan from Mad Sounds podcast, which I was a guest on earlier this year, and we'll have him on one of ours at some point. But well, I'm that far ahead on them. I don't think it would be fair to be like, do you want to come and do an episode, and then I don't put it out for 2 years. But we will have him on, and we'll probably do a film or something and have a look through the messages. But so I'm going to look for the hidden messages in this. Now you may have just seen the live stream that just went out, where all you could hear was the music from this, and me pausing it, and then silence, and then me unpausing it, and then pausing it again for a bit of silence because it wasn't picking up what I was saying. So this might be a little bit of cheating because usually the other ones have been music videos either I've not seen for a very long time, like the Spice Girls video, or songs I've never heard and never seen, like the Robbie Williams song that was called Candy. I can't remember the name of the Spice Girls ones because they all sound very fucking similar. But so this one is Riptide by Vance Joy. We're going to look for some hidden messages, and I'll try and make some of the same points again, but I might see different things this time. Who knows? I'm coming at it without fresh eyes in it this time, so let's have a go. Hopefully this is working. So here, I paused it here, and we got all this down here at the bottom. We got things like the portal, the magician, hexagrams, which is the number 6, and hex is like witches and magic, the sky, which may or may not be real, the dentist, which I've done an episode on the dentists, the swinging lamp here, which is to do with the jinn and genies and things like that. The girl book of changes sounds like something to do with the Bible. The board could be something to do with Ouija boards. The fools, which is something to do with a tarot card. You'll see a tarot card in this in a little bit. The magician, very very obvious fucking thing of magic, and there is an overarching thing of magic throughout this video here. References to magic throughout it, and also I did point out in that last one I'd been mishearing the whole song lyrics, which is kind of ironic because that's kind of what the song is about, people singing the wrong words to something. But I'd been thought, well, I'll explain it as you hear it, but I didn't realise that was why it was called Riptide. So there's nothing obvious here about the sky other than it's showing the sky, and this thing here that seems to just appear. Look, there, the bird. Doesn't look real, it's not capturing the frame. Now, this here, I was scared of the dentist in the dark. I think this is trying to instill in children or encourage a fear. So it's like the idea of, you were scared of the dark. Maybe you were scared of the dentist as well. Do you know what I mean? It's trying to get into... Because people are only scared of things usually if something very bad happens or if they're taught to be scared of it. Like when you're scared of a spider. You're normally only scared of a spider if you live in England because your mum's taught you to be scared of spiders because it freaks your mum out. You know, and like that experiment with the baby where they put a rabbit in front of it and then smacked a gong behind it said when it saw a rabbit, and every time it'd see a rabbit it'd cry because it knew that fear was associated with it, that noise, that feeling. Now this bit here, scared of pretty girls. Now that's called Venustrophobia, the phobia of pretty girls, of pretty women. Is called, that's the actual fucking Latin name for it, is Venustrophobia. I used to read a magazine which had lists of phobias in, and I know quite a few, which is a weird thing to know, but it's true. My dad used to have it he'd keep it in the bathroom, and I'd always have a read of it and try and memorise the names of fears, and then go around at school the next day telling people things I'd learned, and they didn't care. But anyway, I think the point here, I think what the message is here, is it's not like a message of, oh, look at this. It's trying to get into people's subconscious, into children's subconscious, because children are the ones that watch music videos primarily, aren't they? That's who they're aimed at. Adults don't really sit and watch music videos, I wouldn't have thought. I don't, apart from for this, for the sake of trying to think of something extra to give to my Patreon subscribers, and free to you watching this one here. But I think that it's sort of like the mentality of, you were scared of the dentist. and you were scared of the dark. Maybe you should be scared of women. Maybe you should have some form of social anxiety. Maybe you should be, maybe you want to be scared of talking to people. Maybe you don't want to talk to people and share ideas with people. Don't speak to pretty people either. We need to limit the gene pool. We don't want people having sex with good-looking people anymore, because we need more ugly people so that people won't be sad when they get sent to war, because nobody wants to see an attractive person go to die for the country, do they? But no, people will go against that and be like, no, 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 no. But if you don't find them people attractive, then that's fine for them to go to war, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's just trying to get in people's heads, innit? And now if you listen to this next part, social anxiety, mate. Techniques of photographing girls as well. I didn't notice that last time that was the name of the book, and it's got left hand on it again. It's like hand on the book, hand on the Bible. But techniques of photographing girls seems a little bit dodgy as well. But you got OF there as well if you wanted to be like photographs of girls, OnlyFans maybe. But you're reaching a bit because of is just a word. But my point is, it's breeding social anxiety, innit? It's normalising the concept of social anxiety to people, trying to teach people that it's a possibility. Oh, when you were a kid, you were scared of the dark. And I did say in the last one that when I was a kid, I had a friend who was scared of the dark, and but he was also terrified of moths and all, and he was a bellend. But that's besides the point. But because he was scared of the dark, he'd have a light on, but then if there was any moths in the room, that light would attract the moths, and then he was just in perpetual fear all the time. But he also used to lie all the time as well, so he may have never been scared of the dark or moths. He may have just put it on for whatever reason. A very, very strange guy. But nothing to do with Riptide or Vance Joy, though. So you got that there. That looks like he's masturbating down here, and he's not making eye contact with the woman, which could be a way to to symbolise you should get into porn. But then you've also got like faceless women, and he's got no eyes, kind of thing. So you can't. There's no connection, making no connection between people. And it looks like their eyes would be at different heights as well. But let's see when she turns around. No, they're at the similar height really, which is that's how it should be. So it's not trying to symbolise that. I paused it here as well, but I didn't want to really get into the symbology of the dollar, because that's not what this is about, which is what I said in that last one. This is really annoying because the first one was more natural than this, and the others would be more natural than this. It's annoying that the first one didn't work. I'm going to leave it up because it's kind of funny, but yeah, it's fucking annoying. It'd be interesting to see if these end up the same length of time, or if this ends up longer or shorter as well. So here you've got magic going on. Left hand magic. You got the Queen here as well, Queen of Spades, which I don't think is relevant, the spade, but you have got the Queen and relevance of that. And the kings and the queens supposedly had wizards, which was supposed to be Jimmy Savile. Supposedly was like the Queen's wizard for quite a long time. The equivalent of the Queen's Merlin, if you like, was supposedly Jimmy Savile. But that might not have anything to do with this, but it's a little message you could deem from this. And it doesn't even make it disappear. Then you've got this sort of like giant woman in the sky, which I don't really understand the symbolism of. But this is all about, idolising women and that in it. So it may be a little bit of Project Bluebeam, but if you idolise a woman, then you're going to see a big woman in the sky. But I don't know really. Then you've got this here where she's got torches and that, and there's little spires here, but nothing too much. Maybe some rocket symbolism here, obelisks and things like that. But I think that's just a natural background, really. You've got a fur coat on as well, which I don't think has got any relevance. And she's not looking at the camera, she's looking over here. But again, maybe you're looking here and you should be looking here. The left hand, well, that's a right hand though, isn't it? There, left hand's empty, right hand's got the light. So maybe it's trying to turn people away from bad magic, left-handedness is the devil, things like that, the light's in the right hand. And she tries to grab it with the left, but he's holding it in the left hand, and she doesn't look bright, she seems to be like dark-haired and that. So maybe that's a thing, I'm not too sure, but he had the light in his left hand, whereas she had it in her right hand, and now she's gone. Now this bit here, right, my point here was this seems to be, in a few of these music videos so far, there seems to be some form of organism living, or a representative of a living organism that looks a lot, in some way, shape or form, an awful lot older. So in the Spy, I don't like to make them all referential to it, but I kind of want you to go, and even if you just go and take the free trial on my Patreon for 7 days to see the others. In the Spice Girls one, I remember there was a big statue of a giant person, behind someone, like almost touching them, connected to them, which gives the indication of someone much bigger, which means they're much older, kind of thing, or old as in from days gone, ancient times, Nephilim, giants, whatever. Now trees are very old, and like looking at the thickness of the girth of this tree, it's got to be getting on a bit, probably older than her. But then you've got these ropes, which could be symbolising like tentacles or something like that, connecting this organism. So if you look, the neck, which is like there's bound to be some form of like chakra or something. I don't fully believe in chakras, but I do think there are the extra dimensional entities that may be able to connect to us and use our bodies, like stands in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure kind of thing. They're connected to us just as we are to them, but maybe we can't all use them and they can't all use us, but some can use us and we can use some of us can use them, kind of thing. But she's also had the thing around her mouth, like she couldn't speak, so this was connected to her, but she wasn't able to speak, so she didn't have a voice, she couldn't speak, like in Little Mermaid as well, where the Little Mermaid makes a deal with this entity who's a witch, and then she loses her voice in essence and can't speak, but has made this deal with this demonic creature, if you like, being Ursula the octopus. But here the demonic creature may be symbolised by the tree, and they break out of it, and then she's got a voice back again. Here she can speak again because she's left this connection with this otherworldly creature. Right, this bit here, now they're running towards crucifixes. So it's turn you back on the demons and things like that and turn to crucifixes. Now, the point I was making in the other video, where I was going like this, showing off the jumper, wasn't to try and shamelessly plug this hoodie with Jesus lizards on, because it's actually works out ridiculously expensive for you. I'm probably going to remove it off the website today. But just so you can see it, it is Jesus lizards. But if you look at a crucifix, right, the crucifix looks like this, doesn't it? It's like an uppercase T with a little bit above, right, like these. But this looks like she's been shrunken down and she's in some form of like bird sanctuary or something, doesn't it? But I don't know what these would actually be. They'd like perches for owls or hawks or something, but they've messed with the perspective. Maybe they've filmed all of this in a bird sanctuary or an animal sanctuary or something. I'm not too sure, but that's irrelevant anyway. Also, it looks like she's got some horns here and she's running towards religion. But still, when we wear a crucifix and look down at a crucifix, we're seeing an inverted crucifix, which I was trying to make the point of maybe this is why, like ill people have rosary beads, and you normally only see ill people holding rosary beads and messing with them, trying to pray the illness away or whatever, trying to get better. Maybe that's because, and very religious people go to Lourdes as well to get healed. People that aren't religious wouldn't go to Lourdes to get healed, but maybe these religious people have a crucifix and hold it in high regard and they're constantly looking at it. So maybe people that are religious should wear crucifixes but wear upside down ones, so that everybody else gets the negative impact of that, but when they look at it, they get God, kind of thing. Maybe it's an inversion, a trick. Right, I thought it kept saying rooftop, right? I thought that the whole song kept saying running down to the rooftop, and that this was to symbolise the rooftop when it's showing the water crashing around like this, in the sense of like biblical of split the waters, separate the waters. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's the water's here and that's the roof, the water's here, that's the roof. That's why it kept showing the sky as well. Then it shows the blue sea, which looks like the sky. This could easily be a sky if you didn't know. This could be wispy clouds and that. If you've never seen the sea before and you've been shown pictures of the sky, you could think that was the sky, I suppose. Now this is a bit weird as well. She gets sucked away into the darkness there, and she shows her left hand as well reaching out, as if she's reaching out for that light from before again to try and get the power back, the magic with a K kind of thing. And then it's left. It keeps coming up saying left, which is a magic reference, I'm pretty sure, like left hand magic, right hand magic. I can't remember the significance of them, but now this woman throughout the song gets a bit weird as well. So it's not much is going on here. This is just like she's normal. Right, so that's boring. There's nothing there, no messages there. Now this bit I tried to read the German here and try and understand it. Don't really understand much of it apart from there's obvious words like policeman, and you've got three here, and there's other little references of like little words and that, but I don't know enough German. I thought maybe I did know enough to try and make a couple sentences out and get the grasp of it. But it's about a film, it's a VHS tape, but the name of the film, as you'll see, Velocity, right? Now, look at this. You've got somebody holding on to the velocity, which is the velocity can be the speed, like terminal velocity is the speed that something falls, right? It reaches terminal velocity. That's inferred by gravity, I think. Gravity's in charge of that. Now, look what happens here. This German idea of velocity gets taken away by this other hand over here, right hand. But that could be America taking away from using Operation Paperclip project, to take away the German scientists who are like, we've got velocity, we've got this, and they're like, well, we'll have a bit of that. Do you know what I mean? You got that there, and then you've got this here, right? So this, you got all of this is great here. It's going on about the Space Institute of Australia, blah blah blah. I did try and work out if there's any reference in these numbers, but it wasn't. But then the thing that I think is important is that you've got this here, very very simple text and information. No one's looking at this. Everyone's looking at her. Everyone's trying to work out, is she gonna unblur? Am I gonna get to see a bra? Am I gonna see a bit of cleavage here of this woman? Am I gonna be able to see if she's got a bit of a camel toe here? Is that gonna be possible? That's what people are thinking when they're looking at that. Oh, fucking hell. What's going on here? Ah. There we go. We're back. That wasn't very good, was it? But we're back anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So here you've got this blurry woman, right, in a Playboy outfit. People are going to be looking at her, so it's a way of showing them, look, we'll show you everything you need. We're showing you what's happening. We're telling you exactly what's happening here. We're not looking here. You're looking at her. You're looking at the distraction. That's what you're paying attention to. You don't give a shit about this, do you? No one cares. They're all looking at her. And then you've got this about planes and, fucking, there's a bit of the moon there as well, which I didn't notice last time, but you got the plane going to the moon, it's going through the moon. I don't know. Messy. This bit doesn't seem relevant, just something to do with a cowboy. Probably just, fucking maybe to lie, to spread the lie about history and history being what we're taught it is. There's a part of me, because I've been playing Red Dead 2 a lot, there's a part of me that's thinking cowboys might not have existed. Maybe it's a thing that was made up to try and give us an idea of, time's been going on for this long, this is what happened during this time, but really, maybe we've only existed for 400 or 500 years, like Anatomy Flamenco says. But moving on. You got nothing really going on here. That looks like a face, I suppose. You could say there's an eye, there's a nose, there's a mouth, there's a beard, a chin. Maybe there's a giant in the ground, maybe. But I think I'm clutching at straws there. This bit here, right, this seems to be, you've got this idea of social anxiety and that, but now you've got a person hiding in the bushes, coming from the darkness, watching you. We've seen this woman, I think, be dragged into the darkness, and now she's observing the world, the outside of wherever she is, through these binoculars, giving her a very, very specific view of the world, showing people that you can have a very specific view of the world, but also, maybe it's trying to tempt people into the idea of believing in gang stalkers. Living on the higher shelf, like a higher plane, a different plane of existence. Do you know what I mean? These creatures, Got another crucifix here, just hidden into the background. Now they've turned their back on religion, and they're coming away from it with the light in the right hand at this point, rather than in the left. But it's you've got the right hand light again. But maybe that was Morse code as well, because if you look, it looks like there's a flash. What have we got? Like flash, nothing, flash, nothing, flash, glare, break, glare. Now this bit here, I thought was me reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as well. So maybe, right, I'm thinking maybe we exist as two creatures. We've got us, and then we've got these extra dimensional entities that maybe we're all paired with but don't know, as shown in sort of like Digimon, Pokemon, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with stands, things like that. These different fucking creatures that humans can interact with and be in charge of, or they can control us, and so on and so forth. But if you look, they get separated, and maybe it's to try and be like, look, we're trying to make a separation using left hand magic. We're trying to create a separation of entities so that we're free of them. And we get our voice back and our powers back, like the woman before who was tied to the tree. She got her mouth back, she could speak again, she had her own voice again, because she was no longer connected to that extra entity. Aidan, running down to the Riptide, taken away to the You got getting dragged into the darkness. The right hand palm is open, and if you think about when you go to church, you show your left palm to the priest, and then you take the communion out with your right hand. So that's the right hand there, and you take it with the left, which would probably be, I imagine, because it's the other way around of what Catholicism would be, going like this. You'd be going like this. So if it's an inference, not an inference, a swap around, if you like, a swap arounder. What's the word? The opposite of it. Then that's got to be demonic, surely. Left propagation. I don't know. Propagating left hand magic, maybe making more left hand magic. Keep making left hand magic. I don't know. But that was a crescent as well, like the moon. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a little crescent earlier, like a waning gibbous. So is it waxing gibbous, waning gibbous, moon? Now look, she's starting to look a bit worse for wear now, and looks a bit sad, and she looks like she's been taken over because she's in the darkness. But she's got a voice, but she's saying these words here, if you think about it now. So she's been taken over by this entity, being dragged into the darkness. So there's a creature here behind her, where you can see something here on the screen. Don't know what that is there, but you can clearly see there's something behind her that's just out of sight. And then she's singing these words. And then see, look, being made to say these words. And then you got clips of that film, which doesn't, I don't know the relevance of this. L3, I don't know. Velocity again, trying to get the idea of science into kids' heads. But this, and then trying to introducing kids to this sort of stuff as well, introducing people to this sort of stuff, I suppose. The moon, the hanged man, the fool. I don't know the relevance of these. I don't understand tarot cards. But if you look at this though, here again, you've got a crucifix there. And you've got almost him making an upside down crucifix as well. Do you see what I mean? There's a lot of symbolism about the crucifix within it. There's been a lot of it. And I don't get the significance of it, really. But that's an inversion on a crucifix as well, so I don't know what that would mean. Now this bit, I paused it here. You've got cigarettes and tanning oil. So you've got cancer, this weird shirt, EDC. I don't know what the relevance of EDC is. 925 doesn't really mean anything, but there is an inscription around this, but I don't know what it says. Can't read it. Romanian passports. I thought maybe something to do with a little, be like, oh, look at, something's going to happen in Romania kind of thing, to Escape to Romania, which would be a weird TV show like Escape to the Country, but it's Escape to Romania, where we would just follow like Andrew Tate's life, I suppose. And I think Andrew Tate got arrested, didn't he, in Romania? Did he have a Romanian passport as well? I'm not sure. Jag as well, don't know what jag means. Now this looks like a bit of, to me, looks like nonsense, but it's obviously in a different language. Then you've got all of this here, which I don't know what this is, but they're doing something, trying to figure out some form of cryptic something or something, maybe. I'm not too sure. It says Holocaust Israel. Oh, okay, I don't know then. Maybe we shouldn't be messing with this. Now here, though, see, that seems very strange, doesn't it? I didn't notice this last time. This here, see, that definitely says Holocaust, though, to Israel, right? Which is strange. And then you've got all of this going on. Like, what is this? Is this anti-Semitism? I don't know if this is anti-Semitism. But, and then it goes into this, which seems to be the idea, I think. One sec, let's try if we can. Oh. Lost it again. There we go. So I think this is to do with where you fire a beam of light, a beam of particles, and then when you observe it, it does one thing. When you don't observe it, it does another. I think, but I could be wrong. Seems very strange to tie in physics and the Holocaust, though. I don't know what that means, really. Gotta know. I can't have it any other way. Right, look. Now these are all looking like, look. They're all looking to their right, but we're seeing them look to the left, but they're actually looking to their right because they're looking at us. They're facing us, if you look at the shoulders, but they're pointing to their right, but we're seeing that it's to the left. Again, seems to do with magic. He's destined for the screen. Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Oh, lady, running down to the Riptide, taken away to the dark. Bit of hypnotism there. and then you're in the dark. Look at that. And then you're getting all these flashing lights, getting all these messages from music videos and films like this one. Left, 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 magic. You know, it's just flashing up the left word. Right, now look, she's now sad, right? She's visibly sad. We can still see whatever this is here, which is looking like it's either dirt on my computer screen, or there is something behind her, right? And now she's sad. So this thing here, if you look, it almost looks like it's now smiling, because it's what looks like a smiley face here with these lines. And it's just feeding off of her negative emotions, mate. But she's sad, being forced to say these things. You got the Ouija board as well there, a bit of magic, you know. Very reference to magic. Then it's left and left, 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 magic. Left hand again. Now look. Now, look, she's now a lot happier, an awful lot clearer. Now, you could tie this into the tree thing, because this blood could be coming from round the back, where it was connected to this other entity. And if you look, you can't actually see anything behind her anymore, and she's visibly happier. But you could also say this is trying to teach girls, maybe young women, that self-harm could be okay, because she's now visibly injured, right? But she's not sad, is she? There's no evidence of crying underneath. She's wiped the lipstick away a little bit, but she's not cried. She's not cried at all. She's not sad because she's hurt herself, right? Which that doesn't seem like a good message, but it is a message nonetheless. Or it's a little thing you can take away from the music video. See, look, it's just even mental. She's clearly, visibly happier than before. Where was she crying before? Look, crying. Not cut. She's sad, right? Now, she's happier because she's hurt, she's injured, she's happy. You'd be happy if you're in pain, kind of thing. Or cause pain to yourself to get over your sadness and your trauma. It's a weird message, innit, to put in a music video. Is this about a woman trying to top herself as well? Maybe she's been taken over by an entity to try and kill herself. That looks like a penis ejaculating. But I think that's just purely accidental. Getting dragged away under the bed by the shadows, you know. That's the left hand again. Went from white to red. Don't know the significance of it. She's wearing a watch on her left hand. The guy before was wearing his watch on the right hand. And then, look, self-harm, more self-harm. But she's sad again, because if you look, that self-harm there didn't hurt her. Didn't cut her. No blood spurting out. She's sad again because she's not self-harmed. Trying to teach them. It's a horrible thing to teach people. And that's it, mate. That's the end of that. So if you enjoyed that, you want to see what I've made of the other songs, go and give them a go. I am going to make a conscious effort now not to destroy the other footage and actually make sure it records me speaking. If this has happened a second time, I'm not going to do it again. I'll just leave both of them up and you can be like, this guy's fucking useless. But patreon.com/worldaroundyou, there's a 7-day free trial. And if you've watched this all the way through, there is a discount code on my website at the minute for that lady that's left Walmart. Her name is escaping me right now, but her name is the discount code for a rabbit toaster mug. You can see the video on my Instagram. But that's... See, and she gets sucked into the darkness. So there you go, mate. That's the end of that. That's the messages we could find within there. How long has this one ended up being? This one's ended up being longer. Imagine that. Right, I'll fucking see you in a bit, mate. Go and try my Patreon to find